Yes, Jay. It's good to be able to talk to you again. And today I want to take an opportunity to talk about a couple of things that are very important to the nation and to our people, how that meaning translates into action in different parts of the United States. Particularly, I would like to talk about the Cultural Preservation Program and the good work that they do. In the past quarter, the months of January, February, and March, the Cultural Preservation Program, they responded to 727 requests throughout 12 different states regarding issues of Native American Grave Protection Act, construction sites, plans for renovations of roadways and things like that, where it's our historic lands. Generally, we look at 12 states in the southeast of the United States that contain Muscogee sites of historic importance. First, I want to thank them for the hard work that they do. Just the sheer volume is overwhelming. We get letters every day regarding sites that are in danger, and so our people do a great job of assessing the situation and enter into consultation with different groups. Recently, it's been brought to my attention through cultural preservation of both issues of grave concern because of destruction of some sites and opportunities that we have to educate and to improve relationships that we have developed in different locations. Earlier this week, the second chief and myself, the speaker and the second speaker, made a trip to Georgia and Alabama. In Georgia, we met with the governor's staff, the historic preservation staff, and Native American liaison for Georgia. We're scheduled to meet with the governor, but the governor at the last moment had a schedule conflict, and so he and I have spoken, and I do plan to meet with him soon. We wanted to make sure that they understood our history in the state of Georgia, and I think we had a very beneficial meeting with them. There's a federal law, and it's called ESSA, Education Support Act, that provides that tribes enter into consultation with school districts, and we've done at least 40 of those within the Creek Nation already. What that's intended to do with the Every Student Succeeds Act is that schools are required by law to work with tribes in making sure that their education curriculum involves tribal participation. So it gives us an opportunity to have input on what is being taught in public schools. The state of Georgia was very open with us about what they do, the materials they provide to their schools. It took our invitation to be involved. We will have our education and training staff follow up with them in making sure that the material that's provided to the Georgia public schools contains information about the Muscogee Creek people, the Muscogee Confederacy, our history, and information about where we are now. Because one concern that we have is the states of Alabama and Georgia have lost a sense of Muscogee people. Part of our mission there was to make sure that we re-educated them to that fact. We also met with a private developer, a site that's being developed in the state of Georgia. Unfortunately, they had removed a burial site, built a house over it, sold a home, someone lives in the home. We weren't informed of that until after that was done. Fortunately, it was near a Corps of Engineers project. The Corps of Engineers has halted any further development. And so we met with the developer and their staff and talked about moving forward, because they cannot move forward without us. And we want to be involved in making sure that we protect the sites, we keep those sites anonymous, and that we'd be willing to preserve those sites in the future. After several hours of talking to them, I think that we arrived at the framework for an agreement going forward where we will be involved, that there will be no development on the sites that they've identified and any future sites. In addition, the developer has agreed that they would like for us to come in and provide information about the Muscogee people who lived in that area, put that in different locations in their community center in that town that's being built, then be able to tell our story to the residents of the development. We'll continue to work with them. I think that's hopefully turning the corner from a bad situation to a good situation where we preserve and protect not only historic sites, but burial sites as well. And again, that's a big responsibility for me and this administration to make sure that those sites are preserved and protected. We also met with the governor's office from the state of Alabama, staff in the Minority Affairs, Indian Affairs Office, Historic Preservation Office, and the Historic Commission to talk about how the Muscogee Creek Nation could be involved with them. In 3 years, the state of Alabama will be celebrating its 200th anniversary, but it's also 200 years of our removal almost. So we wanted to make sure that they knew of our history and that our desire is to participate with them so that our story is told in Alabama as they celebrate their 200th anniversary, that it was really on the back of a lot of conflict on the side of the Muscogee Creek Nation, a lot of tragedy on our side, but the truth must come out. We believe we had a good meeting there as well, that again, we've got follow-up to do. We did go visit some sites in Alabama that have some Muscogee history items on display. We also talked to some school children who were visiting those and their teachers about what their objectives were in looking at Muscogee history and how much they really know. We think that we have a great opportunity there. The state is willing to let us have rotating displays in the buildings, and over the 3 years that they will be celebrating their 200th anniversary, we will be involved with maybe cultural presentations and actively working with the schools and with the state and events that they are scheduling throughout the state. And so I think that brings us back into the picture of the history of Alabama prior to our removal and gives us a great opportunity to educate not only those in Alabama but everybody about the importance of our role in their state before they were a state. It was a pleasure to sit down with them. Again, there'll be much follow-up we need to do. So we look forward to working with them. And so I thought it was important that we bring that out to everyone because we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to, again, preserve and protect both our historic sites, our burial sites, and our history. We also had several other meetings of looking at sites, and then we ended our trip with a city in Alabama that has been one that had a bad history that's turned to good. And it's a situation where they uncovered burial remains, didn't know what to do, and didn't notify the tribe for a year. That was 5 years ago. From that point, the tribe and the ceremonial ground people here within Muscogee Creek Nation began working with them. That culminated in a trip from the ceremonial ground people to this location in Alabama. They had a great ceremony. They were recognized. They were honored. And the city, I think, has done the best that they could with making sure that our history is being told. They put up signs, storyboards throughout a park that they have built, and they've offered to the tribe some pieces of land that we could use to have an exhibit hall and an area in where we could have ongoing cultural interactive events where we either show them how we make bows and let them shoot the bows that we make. Our canoe building project can be demonstrated there. They want to work with us in a partnership. And so I think it was great to end the trip on that meeting because it showed that once they do get the idea that the city is enriched by adding us and making sure that they highlight our history. And so all the residents know Muscogee people are still present. Their history is rich in that area. And if they honor it and respect it and bring it forward to all the citizens, it seems to build a strength within that community. And it was evident, we could feel that. So meeting with the mayor, the city council, and their staff, we will follow up again because they would like to have us come down from time to time from the community, from the nation, to participate in events that they hold on an annual basis within the city, but also look at a permanent facility that they may be willing to fund themselves or to use private money to build for us so that we can have rotating exhibits. And so I wanted to bring that out this morning because we do deal with a lot of issues. Primarily 12 states in the Southeast. As I mentioned before, over 700 inquiries just in the last 3 months shows the volume of the development in that area and the sites that are being threatened. And so we responded to all 727 requests that we had last quarter. So again, my thanks to our staff who are doing a very good job. They must travel a lot, but in the end, the products that we're getting is that we're preserving sites. We're making sure that sites that where there must be reburials are done the way they should be done. They're working very hard at it, and we felt that we needed to go down so that they saw the leaders of the nation being involved and that they heard from us. And it seems that message got through. I think we opened some doors for future opportunities, and so I'm very thankful for the opportunity to go down there. So I wanted to bring that to you today, let you know that we deal with a lot of different things within the nation, but one of the things that means so much to us as Muscogee people is that we should always remember our heritage and our history, and that we preserve it so that generations after us can go back to the sites that we came from, to the towns that we came from, and to the grounds that we came from, and know that we're doing everything we possibly can to preserve it so that it will be there for them and their ancestors to go see. So it's a very rewarding experience to be there, disheartening in some ways to see the development occurring in our traditional sites, but also having doors open so that we can be partners with them going forward. And I want to thank you for the time this morning, and hopefully this information is helpful to you and how we're working on many different fronts to make sure that we're maintaining the culture of our people regardless of where it may be. We're in Oklahoma, but there are other states in which our cultural sites exist, and having the opportunity to bring that to their attention and to begin to outline agreements where it can be preserved is very, very important to us, and I hope it's important to you as well. So thank you for the time this morning. Hello.